Oh, baby. Feel that cool breeze. Every breeze out here is cool, if you've noticed.
It's idyllic.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets Podcast. Air horns in the chat. If you are a Supporters Club member, throw those air horns out there. We're in sunny San Diego, although we're in shady San Diego at the moment, in the shade of the sun.
It's a little cold. I don't like it here.
Yeah, well, San Diego is always shady San Diego if you're in the wrong place.
That's true. What a great day today. We were at Denver Nuggets practice, day 3 of training camp, and we got to watch them scrimmage for a little bit, maybe 10, 15 minutes of scrimmage. So we're going to break that down as if it was a real game, as well as provide you updates about what was said. And hey, has our opinions changed on anything since coming into camp? That's all the news we're going to be talking about today. Brendan Vogt is here to help.
Hey, why not? Where would I go? Been here all week with you guys, having a great time, making some good content. Want to thank Cam Johnson for sitting down with us yesterday and everyone who watched. Let's keep it rolling.
Let's keep it rolling. Over here, D-Line Co.
Caught a pretty good nap this afternoon.
Did you?
Caught a pretty good nap.
Dude, naps are the best sleep, to be honest.
Yeah.
Better than regular sleep.
Oh, I've never felt better. Just kidding. I felt better a lot more. But I feel fine.
We swapped out Cam Johnson, but we brought in an even better Johnson.
A better Johnson. It's me. It's me. These outside shows that we have to do.
They
Have to.
They're so fun. We choose the best temperatures when it comes to these. This one's super, super windy. The other one,
What? Are you really complaining?
I mean,
It's like perfect. This is not the perfect
No, it's
weather.
actually
You were
perfect.
kind
It's a
of.
nice
He
day.
said it was cold. You said it was shady.
Well-
you just complained.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
For all of you guys at home, I think it is idyllic. We're excited to have you here, Dev.
I'm excited to be here. I got in here earlier today, and he's complaining about how tired he was. I had to wake up at like 3 o'clock.
Oh,
We
wow.
booked you the worst
It was
flight
insane.
of all time.
Couldn't believe that I had to do this.
Yeah, you were in
Then
pretty early.
it was time to go. As soon as I got here, it was time to get to it.
There you
But
go.
I'm excited.
We also are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Also, shout out to the homies at Red Hawk Roofing, man. They've made this trip a special one. We've been coming out to San Diego for like 10, 11 years. This is the best one so far. It's only day 3. I'm going to declare it the best one. There was a scrimmage today. And today was basically only a scrimmage. You know, they've been doing the camp, drills, different things. Today was basically only a scrimmage. They even brought in officials. I only recognized Mark Davis, but there were 2 other officials, I believe are NBA officials. And so this was serious. This was like, hey, split them up. The teams, as I saw them, the teams were Jokic, Cam Johnson, Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon. So basically all the starters besides Jamal, with Pickett, Julian, and Deron Holmes. On the other side, you had Jamal, Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown, Valančiūnas, Spencer Jones, Hunter Tyson. So to me, on paper, you would have said, oh, man, Yoke's team's going to dominate. Not the case. It was the other team that won.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't see a lot of the starters. We really just got to see Jamal.
Yeah, carrying him.
With the starters, and he was carrying. And him and Valančiūnas had a connection the entire time. They were going at it. So that was exciting to see. And also, I was very shocked by seeing Mark Davis there. It seemed like everyone else was pretty calm about it, but that was shocking to me because they took it as if it was a real scrimmage, real game. And even after the game or after the scrimmage, Adelman talked about, that being a real thing. So I was a little bit shocked to see that.
I think they do it for that reason, for it to feel a little bit like a real real game. But I do agree with him, though. The Valančiūnas connection, I mean, it wasn't like he was doing anything particularly impressive. It was that he kept getting the ball in the scoring position.
Yes, he was. And even before we got to see, I saw Katie when she put out on Twitter that Valančiūnas and Jamal had a nice connection going throughout that scrimmage, which, of course, we were only privy to a snippet. I think That's a really welcome development because I do expect Jamal to stagger again. I know they've talked about being creative. Perhaps they will at times. I do think the first look will be Jamal playing with the bench. And you want Jamal, who has really made his money playing with a center, a skilled center, to be able to tap into some of that with the second unit. He seems kind of excited about it. I think that there's real weapons there. But him and Val, I think, if they're able to play, we say played through Val, and I look at it as played through Val and Murray together.
It was pick and roll. He was rolling and catching the ball right in scoring position, and he's so good when he buries it deep. You like this one, man. The Nuggets. Jokic's team is down 4 points. He goes at the foul line. He makes the first one, so they're down 3. There's like 6 seconds left. So he tries to do the quick shot off the rim because the only way you can win is get an offensive rebound and get a 3 up. Val is inside position with Deron Holmes fighting him. And I'm not kidding when I say Val flat-footed. You saw Deron trying so hard to go in with one arm. He just kind of holds him in place and grabs the ball. It was the ultimate, like, I'm 20 times stronger than you. Didn't even jump. He, like, to be honest, it was almost a dick move. He should have, like, fake jumped to get it.
Yeah, Vogt, didn't you talk to Deron about that for a brief second?
Yeah, I did. Right off the floor, I said, Jonas looks strong, man. And he looked at me and said, I tried with all my might. Couldn't get a foot off the ground. Yeah. I was like, this has been a fun training camp for you, huh, with Jonas and Jokic? And he goes, yeah, man, this is a lot.
That's the way I would describe this trip. You guys are having fun, right? It's a lot.
It's a lot. But what do you think of that part? I mean, like, I think this is a great camp for Deron Holmes, but it is kind of funny to think of. That play to me was just so indicative of, like, man, he's given up 50 pounds and 10 years of experience.
Well, I mean, the question is, like, is he going to be a 5? Is he going to be a 4? Like, that's the one thing about Deron Holmes I don't quite understand. I don't really know how he fits in, but I'm not surprised he got bullied by those 2 giants that we have, those 2 Balkan bullies. I guess we have to come up with anything.
Yeah, but if you look around the league, that's how everybody else looks right now.
It's true.
And this is new territory for the Nuggets to have 2 bigs that is playing that style going at you the entire time, where I think this helps, Deron Holmes, where he needs to get stronger. He needs to get bigger. Yeah. But he's also still shooting the piss out of the ball. Like, we got to see him shoot for a while.
Oh, man. He can make, can he? Did he miss?
Perfect form. He probably missed 1 shot, out of, like, 70. But I think
he was honestly, like, they do the shooting drill, so it's just, take it for what it was. But he honestly was making I didn't think I saw him miss. I think I saw him make like 20 in a row.
He was going crazy. But also, I think that this is really him learning. Just going against those guys the entire time. But I think that's where the excitement comes for the Nuggets. When it comes to Big Val, I think that I would be excited if I'm Jamal Murray because you get to run that pick and roll every single time. You have an identity, even with that second unit.
Yeah.
That's who he wants to be, not go out there with the second unit and go save it and go, just go score as many points as you can. Like, he's going to be in a rhythm. He's going to be smooth. We have Valančiūnas that also gets to run the pick and roll, but he also gets to be a center point of the offense at time, especially if Jamal's not out there. And then you have the guys that are trying to learn. But, like, that size is stifling and it's exciting.
I would say the second thing that stood out to me, I guess I'll just go in order from things that stood out to me as talking points here, but this one is kind of big, and it wasn't even part of the game. Afterwards, Julian Strawther had a good downhill drive, catches the ball on a little dribble handoff. One of the things I don't always love about Julian is he kind of is like leaning forward in a way where it's like he's so committed to going downhill that there's nothing else he can do. He did draw a foul, though, which was nice. He had some good plays. But afterwards, he did I think it's an East Bay funk dunk through the legs that was, honestly, I don't know if I would have guessed anyone on the team could have done the dunk that he did. And I was sitting there going, Julian? It was crazy.
Every single player on the team was in shock when he did it. Yeah, I think that had to be the first time that he actually made the dunk.
Maybe.
Because everybody turned to look at us as if it was like did you guys just see that? I think that was shocking for them that he had that athleticism. But Julian looked great today in the small glimpses that we got to see from him. Like, he looked very confident with the ball in his hands. And also, I think that was what was exciting today, is to see new people bring the ball up the floor and be the guards. Him and Peyton Watson pretty much was like the primary ball handler for the entire time. But Julian was very confident. They was going through him. He was doing the step backs. He's getting to the rim. He's getting shots up. That looked great.
Wow.
Would you guess great dunk from Julian Strawther would have been the highlight? I
Between
mean, I feel like it's not that he's not athletic. It's that this one was like an Aaron Gordon dunk contest dunk.
No, that is crazy. I mean, like, Julian is definitely a guy that am expecting some kind of leap from, but like not an actual leap. Like I didn't think he'd get the East Bay dunk from whatever. That's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you have any other thoughts on Julian? He got some shout-outs today.
I was just going to say what Dev said, that in the part that we got to watch, I actually thought Julian stood out as much as anyone. And we should be very clear. It's a snippet. That
it was honestly 2 minutes of game clock time.
So with a lot of stoppages.
Do you think that it was intentional that we got to see that portion of it? Because we didn't see Christian Brown. We didn't see a lot of guys. It was very specific
Aaron
about
Gordon,
who was
Christian
out
Brown did
there.
not play.
And then we got to see the Jamal and Valančiūnas with Jokic and Jamal. I mean, in Strawther, really. But it was just them going at it the entire time. Like, that was intense. But it did seem purposeful that we got to see, like, who's getting ball handling duties.
One note I will share is that I don't think Jokic has ever won the scrimmage portion that we've been allowed to see. I think his team always loses.
Yeah.
And he did not go inside the three-point line at all today. He hit a three-pointer. They were down a lot. He hit a three-pointer, and he grifted 2 fouls.
And when you say grifted, was he really grifted?
Jumping in, shoots a 3, got the foul. So 2.5 minutes of game clock.
Working
guys,
we've got.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, have actual refs. He just immediately starts working them.
Yeah, that was literally exactly what happened.
You haven't listened. We're going to get to that.
This is the
part.
next top story.
So I was going to ask you two guys, if on the count of 3, would you say one word, what was Jokic's focus today? 1, 2, 3.
Officiating.
Refs.
Yeah. What? But it's not even. Here's the thing, though.
He was in mid-season form.
This has happened before, and I was talking to Matt more about this. So after the game, and team breaks down, everything's over. Everybody goes to another shots or whatever. Yoke spent probably 20. I don't want to exaggerate. It's probably 20 minutes. If I was to guess, 20 to 25 minutes is what he spent talking to the 3 officials, as animated as you could possibly imagine, as he's going over every detail of the rule book. And you could see a lot of you could actually tell what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Because he was literally talking about guards guarding him in the post and getting away with physicality. He was talking about the fouls because he was mimicking the James Harden, right, where a guy gets you and then jumps into you and rakes the arms up. Like, you could see him doing all this stuff. And for 20 to 25 minutes, he was talking to the officials, and I don't think it was obviously complaining. I think it was an earnest,
trying to understand.
I told Matt, I was like, I'm projecting too much when I say this, but I don't even know if he was trying to understand. He was almost trying to
politic.
Yes, to kind of be like, you and I both know what this is, or whatever. But
I was wondering if refs kind of dig that. You know what I mean? In a game, it's probably annoying, but for them to kind of go into their esoteric bag a little bit,
right?
Do they nerd out with him about it?
I mean, this is the thing: is Yoke was actually nerding out. I would say it was.
Yes.
It was not. It was very much no. I want to understand why this, but not that.
Yep.
He was so animated, though. He took the 25 minutes, but also he was going through different aspects.
Yep.
Like, he started at half court, then he's, giving it to them. Then he's like, let's go down on the block. I want to show you. So now he's moving Mark Davis to where he wants him to be, and he's, grabbing his arm, and it's okay, on the rip. He's actually talking to them the entire time. And I said and thought about, I don't think we've never seen him talking to teammates like that. He really wanted to get his point across, and then also they're explaining their side back. So he probably was super happy coming out of this.
Yeah.
He's like, I got to tell my side of the story. I really wanted to get that.
Yeah.
He was animated.
It is pretty funny to see him working that angle, though. I think he genuinely cares about this stuff, and that's why he does it. Some of it's probably out of boredom.
One of them looked like he was going over, and I wouldn't, name any specific players that do this, but guys who kind of snake through the lane and do the carry, switch sides, and then go up for the jumper and draw a foul.
Well, I think so here again, I love that we're trying to read it as body language. I think what he's trying to say is, if I get a guy out on the perimeter, you get a guy off balance, you get a little tiny bit, and then you rip through so the guy can't catch up to balance you. That's a foul. We all know that's how every guard, Jalen Brunson, Shea, they get fouls. So then he would go down to the block, and he would do one of his moves, and Yoke dribbles around a guy's shoulder and then acts like he's losing the ball and then catches up to it. Yeah. He was doing that one, and then he does this. So he's almost it's the same thing. I beat you around, and now you're bumping into me, but you don't ever call that one. So I loved it, man.
What a hilarious sight. Just Jokic preseason politics.
Well, it was so funny because everybody, if you look at the gym, everybody's working on the one thing they need to work on. You see jumpers over here, you see layups, guys are making free throws over here, you see Biggs boxing out, and then you see him working all 3 reps. It was all 3. Then there was like, coaches are coming in to like hear what he's talking about, but he's working them for the entire time. And I'm like, you know what? That's what he's working on this year. That's what he's working on.
Mark Davis.
I have one more note, actually.
Yeah, let me hear it.
So last year, I thought that team got really quiet on the floor. You know, we got to go see that one Bucks game in person. Shout out Courtside Dave for that one.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know about you guys. One of my top takeaways was they were not talking to each other at all at that point. And today, you know, it's training camp. You want to start strong. I thought it was a very, very loud scrimmage in terms of guys were talking a lot of communication. Big Val did it a lot on the defensive side. I think sometimes Jokic isn't always necessarily vocal. Like pre-play, he'll tell you where to go and stuff. Big Val was really talking a lot. And I know that's such a small thing, but it's one of the small things they stopped doing last year, and I noticed it today.
Details, baby.
Yeah, I think it's a pertinent one. You guys do have some notes on Cam Johnson, though. I think if there was one guy that maybe,
Dev,
you know, he had a shot today that he was off by about 4 feet.
So I think that Cam Johnson is going to take some time to get used to like the guys and just being ready. Like I just feel like he's been in a different situation where he's not having the ball at all times, or he's not going to be shot ready. So like I do think that it's like a learning curve right now, at least today in the little small portion that we've seen. But he is being aggressive. He is trying to, you know, assert himself the entire time. That was a setup.
That was a setup?
That was a setup.
He just missed a shot. We watched, he took, 2 shots?
He got the ball 5 times.
Okay.
5 bad things happened. I was just waiting for something to happen.
He did. I don't care that much, but he did miss the rim on a 3, miss a layup, and turn it over in the 5 minutes.
It was an air ball on the layup.
Yeah, but hey.
He was fouled.
He might have been awesome in that scrimmage before we got there.
Oh, man, friend of the show.
Yeah.
Shut up, man.
I'm already defending him. No. But I will say, if you had to pick a low light in those 5 minutes, he had a couple.
He probably made like 15 straight before you guys strolled in.
Another house cleaning note, and I don't know if this has been announced yet or not, but Tony Delk in the building, I believe, joining the staff as a scout, which is kind of interesting. If you don't know who he is, legend college basketball. Got to hang out with him actually. I want to bring it up. He's my
really
best
were.
friend now.
Yeah,
he's my new best friend. But the interesting thing here is that he's a Kentucky guy. And I just, as a scout, he's been around. He was with the Mavs. I know recently he was with the Mavs, obviously last year when everything went down.
Good year for them.
He's been around. But there's at least a Kentucky connection, which I always just try to take note of, like who's in the building that might.
I don't think that's a coincidence either when you say Kentucky connection.
You think that there's something to it?
It's part of a much larger picture of why he's here.
Vibe and energy, though. You were the first day in the building, Dev. What do you think?
I loved how hard they was going in that, and it seemed super competitive.
Yes.
One side of the gym was trash talking the other side of the gym. Even the coaches were kind of getting into it. They're going off on the
Berea
refs.
versus.
They were actually coaching through this one. They're like trying to sell things. Jamal had a moment where he stopped and talked to Peyton Watson, where he's like, "Hey, who's on cam?" And he telling this is what you need to do on this. Like people are locked in right now. Like it was energy. Like, it really was energy. And I'm not just saying that tongue-in-cheek because you're supposed to say that in the off-season. They were really, getting after it. They were really excited to be there. And, they was even making quotes about how good this team feels.
Yeah. I think there's a very distinct tier here. There's your starters who are locked. Your starting 5 is, we know who that is.
Yep.
Then your bench 5 guys, I think, are also locked. Not necessarily in playing time because one of those guys probably gets cut out. But if you just said who are the next 5, you're like, oh, it's Bruce, Julian, P. Watt, Tim Hardaway Jr., and Val. And so those guys are locked. And then you have the third string, and they're kind of locked. So to me, it's almost nice that there is competition, but there is also we're in this group, they're in this group. And I think it's made for an interesting camp where guys get to go at each other and get to kind of have this. There's competition, but also hierarchy.
I think competition is one of the key words from this week that I think is very important to David Adelman to foster a competitive culture this week, this early.
Yeah.
And that's something we've heard the players, I think everyone's appreciating. And, let's go to the young guys for a second, right? Who, in theory, you look at the moves they made. Yeah, all of a sudden there's a lot less opportunity for you, right? But then you have one of two options in terms of how you respond to that. Do you shut down, withdraw, you want out, or does it make you better? And today we heard praise for the young guys specifically. So point being, competition coming in, yeah, I mean, it can help sharpen the iron of Julian Strawther and Peyton Watson, and I think that's part of what they're hopeful for.
When you talk about sharpening iron, even just reading into something that Aaron Gordon said that sticks on, that I was reading into, he said this is one of the first years that Yoke is getting challenged.
Oh, can we put a pin in this? Because I do want to come back to it because I think it's actually a pretty interesting one. We got to hit our first break, and then we're going to get to, yes, Aaron Gordon spoke today, Jonas Valančiūnas spoke today, and David Adelman spoke for the third time, including, I want to get to that part.
Our friends at Ent Credit Union want you to know that they're offering a really cool product for Broncos fans. If you didn't know, Ent's the largest credit union in Colorado, proudly serving communities all over our state, and they're also the official banking partner of the Denver Broncos. And they've got a Broncos checking account for you, which is loaded with all kinds of perks. Every 15 swipes on your Broncos checking debit card enters you for the chance to win home game tickets. A Broncos debit card and also limited edition Bo Nix one is available now. 10% off food and gear on game days at Empower Field. And no surprise fees, of course. If you're ready to bank like a Bronco, head over to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR to learn more. Insured by NCUA. Membership required. Account requires associated Broncos debit card. And let's talk to you about our friends at Toyota. I don't have them on now, so this doesn't help anyone, but I did wear my Toyota Nuggets themed socks.
Oh, I saw that. It was so sick.
Yeah, I'm a company man. Trucks have always been a part of Toyota's DNA for generations. Toyota's built durable legends destined for greatness and perfect for Colorado. I say it every time because it reminds me of Jokic, and I like that a lot. Whether you're conquering off-road trails or hauling the way to the world, there's a Toyota truck that's just right for you, like that all-new 2025 Tacoma and the return of the iconic 2025 Land Cruiser. Of course, if you're looking for more low and zero-emission vehicles, they've got them in abundance. In fact, they have more combined than any other automaker. Do yourself a favor, visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. There's AutoNation Toyota Arapahoe in Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of the Denver Nuggets and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places, fellas.
Let's go places, man. All right, we are back here. Segment 2. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're a Supporters Club member, throw some emojis in the chat.
Bang, 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 bang.
Let us know. What do you think of Ball is Poppin'? That could be a good one. Ball is Poppin', you're a little guy.
I mean,
you're a little guy.
Oh, my God.
You're a little guy.
Yeah, okay.
You
I
know,
love
legs,
it.
the
I hadn't even thought about that.
basketball,
Yeah.
guy,
I'm
man.
in, dude.
I
I'm
love
in.
that guy.
My guy.
Aaron Gordon was asked today, what stood out? By the way, Aaron Gordon, we joked the other day that he has the perfect body, but went into the offseason focused on making his body better.
Yeah, he did it.
Mission accomplished.
He looks ridiculous.
He looks unbelievable, man. Just physically, you look at him and you're like, wow.
He's the most earnest person on earth. He's like, I'm going to get smarter. Get smarter.
Yeah.
I'm going to get in better shape.
Yeah.
I watched it. I do think if I could pick a body, that would be it. I'd be like, yeah, he's so
I would pick
effortlessly ripped.
I would pick vote.
Thank you. Can I do you a
Hop
favor
right in.
and say,
He would be like,
aim higher?
What a disappointment.
Yeah.
What stood out about the first 3 days of camp? He says just the level of talent that we have in the gym right now. I think the intent, DA is doing a good job of managing us. I think Jared Dudley is doing a great job on the defensive side, and the young guys got a lot better. P-Watt is moving different. Jew is getting to his stuff. Pick is playing well. And just the additions like JV is playing great. A lot of talent in the gym, man. He was asked again about a follow-up question about Peyton Watson since he singled him out first. He says just his shot-making ability. I think his pace of the game, he's picking his spots. He's doing it on both ends. PY is hooping. So I like this that he gave. I love AG, just such a soulful guy. He gives the credit to the young guys. He just went through the list of young guys.
Yeah, he knows exactly what to say in these settings. He truly is a vet. He knew exactly what strings to pull on and talked exactly about those. I think it was great that he went to Peyton Watson quickly. He went to Jalen Pickett, people that clearly need to have a better season. Julian Strawther. you had expectations for them, but also there's still a question mark on those players. He went exactly there. He could have talked about the Big Val. He could have talked about, Tim Hardaway or the Cam Johnson, but he made sure to go to those guys. And I think that's leadership, but also it just shows the vibe of the team and how they're all on the same page.
Yeah, I watched that the clip that we put up of his interview, and I was like so taken by it. I was like, his energy is correct. Like, everything feels very earnest in the way he's talking about, but also like impassioned. I was like, God damn it. He's got me again. Mr. Nuggets got me again. I was like, I'm ready. This guy looks incredible.
Yeah, but I do also love this thing about there's just so much talent in the gym, because that's one of the themes I would say here. And this has also been another one of the themes that Adelman has stressed. We got veterans, but our young guys are not the same young guys. They're also different. They are coming back a year elevated, and they put a lot of hard work in. So it's not like, well, they replaced the youth. It's like, no, the youth also grew in to be more competitive, which I love. But this idea that there's a lot of talent in the gym, I think, is one of the themes.
Everyone has said that. Every person has said that.
Yeah, going back to the competition thing, you embrace that. Instead of going, oh, man, my spot is in jeopardy. You're like, hey, we're all going to get better if we practice like this. And that's kind of been the mentality through, admittedly, 3 days at training camp. But I want to pick up the Peyton Watson thread a little, because I heard from someone who got to watch the whole scrimmage that he stood out. And then you heard Aaron Gordon mention it. And then, of course, DA mentions Peyton later on as well. So, quiet week for Peyton in terms of the shout-outs until today. Big live scrimmage portion where guys are playing hard, and apparently Peyton played quite well.
Which is good to hear, man, because I don't we were talking the other day, it's not a name that we've heard a whole lot of, but yes, Adelman did have something on him. And here's what I love. He says, yeah, Peyton's been really good. He's been really responsible with the ball, which, again, I love. It's so much for the young guys. You're thinking flashy with the ball, and it's like he's been responsible. He's protected the basketball. And I think they are using him as a point guard. And, I was trying to think about this. Of all the guys on the team, like Julian has the same role this year as he had last year. You're hoping he's a little better. Pickett, same role as last year. I kind of think Peyton might have a different role this year. Whereas last year, I think he was defensive guy, then stand in the corner. I think they might be using him more as an initiator, like a backup AG, not where they're giving him the ball to score, but they're saying, hey, man, you initiate this one so we can get Tim Hardaway off screens.
Interesting.
Yeah, while it could look like he could get pushed out in these type of situations, everybody getting better and them filling roles puts him in a better role as well. He's not having to play, the big man spots. He's not having to play the backup, Aaron Gordon role. He can play guard now. That gives him more chances to be on the floor. Yeah. And also for them to shout him out today, I think it's because they got to scrimmage. They got to see him with the ball in his hands and see if he's progressed on making shots, or he got a shout out for offense and defense. But everybody's talking about him with the ball in his hands right now. That has been something that we have not seen a bunch of when it comes to Peyton Watson. So he got to show what he's worked on, but also this is maybe just a new opportunity for him to be able to showcase I can play backup guard role. So I think that's something to be excited about if you're a Peyton Watson truther, if you're Peyton Watson.
and I think
the ultimate,
great point.
The ultimate Peyton Watson truther.
I think when you say guard too, I think it's more they're kind of trying to cast a wider net of, okay, they're pressuring this person. Can you bring the ball up the floor?
Right.
Or if you were bringing the ball up the floor and you got pressured, could you handle it?
Right.
2 years ago, they had 2.5-ish guys that could do that, and it killed them. And I think Adelman is very conscious of the problems that don't kill them in the regular season, but they've run into in the postseason, and wanting to make sure they're training through them early.
Yep, 100%. He said, to continue his quote here, he said he's had the ball in his hands a lot with the second unit, and he's made really sound decisions that we're looking for. Sometimes go into summer, and they want to show off whatever dribbling mechanics they've mastered. And he's played in straight lines. When you do that, you can be a playmaker, and obviously we know we can do on the defensive end. So Peyton's been a bright spot. Hey, and here's another, just to put a point on it, because I kind of feel like Adelman is very revealing. Whereas I think Malone can sometimes be telling the story or whatever. I think Adelman can almost be revealing. I think the best compliment you can give somebody is he's played like a professional basketball player, and he's been that all 3 days. And here's why I think this is important. My fear of Peyton Watson would be that I have long thought he has just enough of the like star talent to think that that's
Hooper
where
energy.
to like, okay, well, if I lean into that, and I'm like, yeah, but he's got a Hollywood personality and a Hollywood upside, but he's got this blue collar skill set and a blue collar entry point, and you worry like which way to go. So when he says, hey man, he's been a professional basketball player, he's not made mistakes, and he's played in straight lines, I go, I'm so glad to hear it, because there's work in that. Getting showed off, but it's not flashy.
Yeah, you talked about the fear when it came to Peyton Watson. My fear, I'm sure a lot of people's fears, he just wants to get in a bag. Like he wants to like do the
play with the ball a little.
Yeah, play with the ball. Like I'm gonna just like ISO, try to go 1-on-1 with you, and then that's when I think he puts himself into tough spots, tough situation, and he's doing too much. What it sounds like today when he deliberately says he's downhill. Valančiūnas said he was downhill.
Right.
Coach said that he was just going straight
lines.
to his spot, straight line. That's and then he's calling himself a professional. They're saying that you're doing more right now by doing less. Just keep it simple, and you're really now starting to stand out. Then you could, do the defensive plays. Now you could, earn minutes with the ball in your hands. They could trust you a little bit more. You don't have to do the back work. So I think that this was maybe them trying to say, like, he's having a more mature year right now, and I think that works with him because I think that's who he is, and that's how you earn minutes in this league.
Yeah. Are you buying? Well, actually, we'll save that for a little bit later. I will go to Big Val, though. Big Val says, well, from the past 3 days, he's talking to Peyton Watson, he's very aggressive. He's going downhill. He's initiating offense, and then talking on defense and helping us on defense. It's beautiful to watch. So I do think that this has been a thing that Peyton. I'm glad to hear Peyton Watson because I don't think he was mentioned a whole lot in the last 2 days, but it does sound like he has been steady, which is one of the more important words I think you want with him if he's going to be a lead ball handler. Would you be surprised if he was a lead ball handler?
I would be incredibly surprised. Like, that would be so strange to me, like, especially with Christian, Bruce.
Well, Christian is starting.
Well, but I mean just the staggering. I mean just the sheer number of people. Julian, I mean, it would take me a while before I would get to Peyton Watson as the guy that I would designate as a ball handler. I think, like, what Vogt is talking about, like sort of an outlet, like a safety valve if they're getting picked up, and, that you want to have not just Aaron Gordon that can bring the ball up when things get tight. But, I mean, to me, that's like a bizarre use of him. Unless he's really good at it. I just can't picture it. Like,
I don't know if he's playing point guard, but I think he's getting opportunities.
But it's like Bruce's point guard, so
sure. But he has the ball in his hands. He's getting opportunities to make reads.
I can't even picture it.
See, this has been my big thing with Peyton, though. I actually do think that he is less of a shooter than he was a creator and passer, and that's what. And I think he was a shooter in the last under Malone, where I was always like, that's tough. He should become it because it's asked of it. But I actually think he's better at ball. If you want to develop a skill, develop the one where I think there's actually a floor there, like already a skill set. So I'm kind of excited about it. And the biggest thing is, if you would have told me Adelman wants him to be a ball handler more than Malone did, I'd be like, I'll bet Camp's ugly, though, because I'll bet he's turning it over. Right. We got to get over a hump. The fact that it's like, hey, actually the thing has been he's been disciplined, it's like, oh, okay. Maybe there's a little hump he's already over on that.
I love it.
Val did have his thing, though, about how, AG, about how Val keeps Jokic honest. And I love this one because you do think about years past, Yoke coming into training camp and how easy it must have been for him sometimes.
Because everyone's just a Deron Holmes to him.
Yeah, and he's just like, all right, I got a Zeke Naji in the second unit. I do think there is something, too, because he was talking about the whole team now has somebody that is below them that is close enough that they have to beat them. And then that group, there's someone behind them. So I do kind of love this point of like, hey, man, everybody's looking around going like, yeah, Val, go get Yoke. Nobody ever gets to get Yoke.
That's something that it has to be new, even for Yoke, where you're in practice and you just dominate. It probably isn't challenging at all. Today, Big Val had like 2 shots in the paint. Yoke was pissed. He wanted to get back. He wanted to go back at him. He knocked down a 3-pointer on the other end of the floor. But that's probably something that he has just not been too familiar with. And this is a person that he respects, but also a person that he's competed against for so many years. So this has to be new for him. But also I think that challenges Yoke as well. So I loved the fact that it was called out. AG says something about it, so it's on his mind. Maybe they're all talking about it. Like,
love it. Yeah.
now we're going to compete. Now we have somebody for you. You know, like when
That's crazy.
when you get the competitive juices flowing and you're in a scrimmage situations, you probably was like, whoever's on Yoke's team is going to win every time.
I mean, I would think last year in camp, Dario and Zeke probably struggled to guard Jokic. Like that. And
I'm trying to think, like, Jokic is like probably murdering Milutinov
Yeah.
Like, is he ever in camp where he's getting challenged ever?
Now, he's given Jonas that work many a time. But, I mean, we know that Jonas can go down and score on him on the other end. And it's a true center. So maybe it just does give him a little more to compete with.
I also love AG, the soul of the team. He says, it just feels more like a team this year. He was asking about what camp was a little different.
Hold on. Actually, could you set that up? Vote asked this question. What was the question? Because I was like actually trying to read it while it happened. Because I was like, there's no way he's answering this straight up.
I actually just asked, you know, we've heard from guys who are really excited just by how much change there is, just that it's new. And I said, do you feel that same way? And he took that and said, yeah, I feel like we are more of a team. Strong answer.
Then he says, you know, everybody is contributing. Everybody knows what they can contribute in their own special way. And then he also went on to give this anecdote about how everybody's in the weight room before workouts. He says sometimes, you know, it's not just some of the teams there. Everybody does their full routine to and then get shots up and stuff. So he says there's any energy everywhere.
Yeah, he even looked around the gym and he's like, I mean, people are still shooting right now. Like, people are still getting their workouts right now.
I think the team was not a team last year. This is why I was so low on it. But I think even guys like AG, who probably feel emotion a little bit stronger than most people, or feel that sense of communal emotion, I do think that this is a big deal for him. So him saying, you know, it feels more like a team.
And I think the sentence you just said about last year was said out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, like by, you know.
We're not a team?
Yeah. I think if this is a real that's what the playoffs were about. Can you convince everyone that there's still something here worth clinging to?
What do you think that, I mean, do you guys have feelings on what caused that divide that made them not a team? I mean, maybe it's too sensitive to discuss, but like,
I would say more layered than sensitive.
But I mean, I just say like, right, like there's a lot of the same people. Like, it's not like, I mean,
there's a lot of not.
But that's crazy that like guys that have just showed up have made it a team versus guys that were together for years and years. Like, maybe I guess they just sort of wore out the welcome. Maybe the
I mean, again,
stale.
everything sounds like you're attacking somebody when you said, but I do think with Michael Malone, it was expired, and I think it was personally, I think it was for the entirety of last year. So I think you came into that, and it could only go downhill from there. Was it something he did wrong? Maybe not. It might have just been that it was the time, and then you go from there and say, I think Russell Westbrook's probably a loud and interesting personality, and you add him to the mix.
That's kind of what
I think Michael Porter, Michael Porter also, I think, is like, we saw how excited he is to be in Brooklyn. I don't know that he just became excited for that. It might have been a thing he was maybe excited could have happened a year sooner, I just think it's, and again, this is not a fault on anyone. Sometimes it's just things expire, and I think that's what happened. But the contrast to this year is meaningful, I think.
Yes.
Is there anything else? Competitive. This is the last thing. No. There is one more thing. Katie Wingy had a great question as well, where she asked David Adelman, what is different? Where are you ahead of schedule right now? What area? And he said conditioning. The guys are in shape.
Oh, yeah.
And I loved that one. And then he went on to kind of expand on it a little bit. And then he even said, like, Steve Short, their trainer, he was like, I'm giving him headaches right now because I'm pushing the guy so hard, but I can only push him because everyone's in shape. And we're not building towards condition. Everybody came in ready with their bodies ready to go. And I'm telling you, man, it's such a big deal. It's such a big deal.
It's just one more thing where you might think, is that not the bare minimum? And you go, wasn't the case last year? So that is huge. Okay, when we talked to David Adelman at the start of the summer, his introductory press conference, I asked him, given the conversations around fatigue and lack of depth, are you satisfied with the starters' collective conditioning level in terms of mitigating those possibilities? And he said no. The guys, I expect everyone to come back into camp in better shape. to be able to follow up and hear that that's the case, I mean, it's just one more thing that should make you excited about this season.
That's my main takeaway from just everything that's happened over the past whatever, is that somehow all of the lip service that we're getting is matching up. Like they're actually focusing on details. They're actually coming in on shape. They're actually fostering a lot of competition. They're actually forming the team. Like it's cool. I mean, like everything is being checked off. It for the most part, at this stage of the year, you could be in a position. Well, I'm sure a lot of teams are in the NBA where they're trying to paint a picture to get people excited about the year. But it just feels like the Nuggets are actually just building something. Right.
Yeah, but it also just feels like they want to be here. They want to play basketball right now. You hear from fans. First there's questions about like people playing for their national teams. Then there's like they just need a break in the off season and all these things. But then you look at the team. They all went to the Rico Hines runs together.
Yeah.
They went to other private runs together. They're in training camp, and nobody talked about being forced to be there. They're competing hard in training camp, and the coaches are like bragging about those type of things. One, that's a culture shift because it's all positive, so it makes you want to work hard. But two, you have the guys in there that want to be there and they're wanting to play hard. When we talk about like people being in shape, one of the first things that come to mind is like Jamal.
Yep.
He's there. He's present. He looks great right now. That probably pushes everyone else to also be like, oh, we're all in this year. We're all going to play hard. Comes back. He's in good shape. He's been playing all summer, but he still is wanting to play. That probably puts you in a spot where it's like, oh, okay, like we're all after this. And then you have some new players to the mix. So they're healthy right now. I think that, changes. There's not guys that's sitting in these training camps where you're having to ask, like, how does it look right now? So I think that it's just a lot of things coming together at the same time, but they really want to play, and they're excited for the season. It makes everyone else excited for the season.
Yeah. Great vibes. Day 3 of training. This has been basically tomorrow, we're told, will be a light day because they play on Saturday. So tomorrow is like basically the day before a game. You're not going to push guys. Pushed them really hard today. So I don't expect a whole lot. We'll probably talk to a handful of people tomorrow after practice, but I think it's been a good camp so far. And now we get to see the one thing I'll say, this is a veteran team in a way that's very smart. You're all kind of hyped this stuff like this is great, and everybody's kind of aware of like we are nailing the prologue of a marathon.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like we are nailing day 3 of 300.
The challenge is to keep whatever you have now through the whole thing.
But
and the marathon in truth has not started.
It's the prologue to the marathon. We have really nailed the walk up to the starting place. But you know what? It's better than losing. Better than failing it.
And I like that the veterans. I think Jamal has this energy right now too. He's in a decidedly better mood. He's playing ball with us, but I think there's a little bit of, but we're just doing what we need to do.
Right,
and it's a daily thing.
I will say, guys let it slip a little bit more as the camp went on of like, we know what this group is. Like Adelman said something like, when you put together a roster like this, it'd be a waste not to come together. Like everybody kind of knows this is a championship or bust roster, so we are treating it as such. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we're going to get into 3 days of training camp. What has changed? What part of our perspectives has changed a little bit?
Not my pants.
Nice. Oh, no, you changed from one sweatpants to the other.
Oh, that's right. I put on a more formal pair of
sell yourself
sweatpants.
short.
Undies.
Because you know what? The gray ones were worse. Hey, it's game time. Have you guys heard of game time?
Hell yeah,
It
I
helps
did.
you take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets because they provide really great prices on some last-second tickets that come with that game time guarantee, which means you can trust you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. And, of course, the fees are included in that projected price, so you're seeing what you're going to be paying, which is always nice. We know it doesn't always work that way. And when you're picking a seat, you'll get a little preview. You'll get a little window.
A little window
of what your view would look like. Why is that important? Because some stadiums, like Wrigley Field, will sit you behind a pole. So you got to make sure you're sitting in a good seat before you punch it in. Again, use Game Time, the ticketing app that's helping you get the best seats at the last second to the best events. Enjoy football going on here in our great state of Colorado. Go see it in person with Game Time. Again, take the guesswork out of buying NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. And last but not least at all,
the homies who sent us out here.
our friends at Red Hawk Roofing. You may have noticed we brought the whole squad, a battalion out here. And that's thanks to our friends at Red Hawk Roofing, which just made it so much more fun. We got Eric with us, we got Deb with us, and a production team as well.
It would honestly break my heart if I found out one of our listeners replaced their roof with anybody other than Red Hawk Roofing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, better not tell you.
They better not tell me, man. I'm telling you.
Well,
also, if you ever need your roof inspected or replaced and you use Red Hawk, just know that's like goes to us getting to go to San Diego.
Yeah,
it really is like a donation.
And if it helps, you're also getting the best in the business, right?
Number one absolute Apex best.
We're glad to sell this to you. There's no project too small for our guys at Red Hawk. They're your go-to for everything from minor repairs to a full roof replacement. Goodness forbid, should you need it on your home or business. Long-lasting relationships matter to these guys. Quality materials, decades of experience, quick response time. Supporting your local teams means also supporting local businesses like Red Hawk Roofing. If you're looking for a new roof of your home or business, be sure to check out Red Hawk Roofing at redhawkroofing.com or call 720-771-8921. Tell them that Brendan Vogt from DNVR sent you.
Oh
man. He's you
Like
jerk.
by name?
Yeah, by name.
All right, here we are. Final segment. Sign up for Supporters Club, by the way, because
Dude, we got
this
one.
season
We got
saw one. We got him, ladies and gentlemen. Because your badge updates after 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, a year, then every year after that. Now, here's the thing. The season's in 1 month.
Oh, boy.
So if you sign up now, when everybody else tunes in and then starts signing up, you'll already have been
like,
an advanced
you'll be
badge.
at GIP. It's
You'll
like,
look down at those guys. You're like, oh, man.
It's like standing on the couches in the club.
Just making it clear. Yeah,
Y'all ever did that?
I'm not allowed in
I've
the club.
never,
You know that.
Guys, what's changed? Let's talk about it. Vote. I can start with you this time. I keep going the other direction. Where do you have an updated perspective or opinion? It could be about a player, team as a whole.
From the start of training camp?
Yeah, from like
Or
a week
just
ago,
a week
basically.
Ago? I'll say Jamal Murray. I'd heard it for sure. Like, we've alluded to it. Sounded like he had a good summer. I was, and to some extent still am, I want to watch it, walk the walk, right? We'll wait and see. But this has been a different start to October for Jamal for me. This has been a different, I think, 2 feet where you're at. I liked Adelman's quote about leadership being vocal, which they want from Jamal, but also lead by example. So synthesize what Jokic does and what you do. And that's to say, if your second best player who's worth $200 million thinks, it doesn't matter till May, I as a role player might think, doesn't matter till May. On the flip side, if Jamal Murray's out here taking it this seriously, this early, I better be doing the same thing. So I'm glad to see that what we heard looks to be the case so far, Jamal Murray approaching this the right way.
I think Jamal Murray's leadership, too, and again, what I would say about is I think the team looks to Jamal Murray, both good and bad. Like they look to him as like, he's going to set the tone. Yoke's Yoke. He's like this guy. But Murray's going to set the tone. And I think that he's been good at that part. To me, I'm kind of more confident, I would say, in his ability to be the guy that everybody else is like, the intensity's up because his is up.
I mean, for me, obviously, I've not been going to these, but I have had an opportunity to talk to some people within the organization, including Cam Johnson yesterday, and there's just such an, like I used the word earlier, there's just such an earnestness about the way that everybody that I've spoken to is approaching this. I'm not like getting a lot of smoke being blown. People are just like genuinely enthusiastic about being part of this team, I think. And for us, me especially, like, you kind of just expect that inherently for a team that contains Nikola Jokic. And, like, if you find yourself to get a winning lottery ticket and end up on that guy's team, that you think that you would approach every season with the same energy that the universe has delivered to you, and that just hasn't always been the case. Like, I don't really know where it goes, but like I just like how cerebral everybody that I've spoken to has been, like how thoughtful and how clever and how, I don't know, just it feels like an organization at the moment that's worth cheering for, and so like I like that. I
think they're taking it as seriously as we do, and I don't think that was the case last year.
That's what I mean. And like
Like, you're like, why do I care so much
Yes.
if you don't? But this year, I think they're like, no, we care more than you guys do.
Yes.
You're like, yes.
Which is good.
That's like great.
That's
Totally.
right.
Totally.
Correct.
Exactly. So that's my sense.
Yeah. What about you, Dev?
Mine's comes in the sense of the competition, like in like talent level being so high. So we got to hear from Aaron Gordon. We're hearing from like Jokic, hearing from Jamal, like how much talent has been in the gym and how good they look with that talent. Those are coming from guys that have won a championship with this team.
Right.
So if you think that the competition level is high right now, if you think that this team looks that talented right now, you've already seen what it looks like when you guys are at your best. So I think that them continuing to say that is big. And then two, I think it's with Adelman. You have a team that is like pretty much favored, like one of the favorites to win it all. The expectation does not feel like you have to talk about it every single time. Nobody's talking about, that the entire time. And I feel like in the past it was like championship or bust and just like these these rules that you have to put on yourself, this pressure you have to put on yourself. It doesn't feel like pressure. It still feels like the team is loose. It still feels like the team is having fun, even though they're going at it with each other, even though there's healthy competition, even though, you're still going to have to make some decisions on who's playing tonight, who's not playing tonight. It really does still feel like very loose, and that comes from the top, to the bottom. Yeah. Jokic feels loose. Jamal feels as loose as I've ever seen him feel.
Yeah,
AG feels
agree.
loose.
Those three in particular, I would even say.
That's also with coaching and his style of coaching. It's not just on them the entire time, so it feels loose.
I think this is a big part. You were asking earlier about just the different, like, why or this or that. And I do think there's something to Malone, and it's not even necessarily his fault. He has an intensity to him, even if he's not being intense. Even when he's joking around, there's an intensity to Michael Malone. And I think that David Adelman is the opposite. And maybe you caught on early on, or maybe you were a little concerned about this, because you were saying, like, I'm not sure if he's a leader or this or that. I think there's just a lack of intensity around him. Maybe that circles back in a bad way later on. I don't know. But I think that's why everybody's in a good mood, is they're kind of like, yeah, man, we don't have principals not here.
Yeah.
And we don't need it.
Right. Because, they're like the senior class. They're like the
honor students.
Exactly. So they kind of know what they're doing, or they do know what they're doing. And they are capable and are holding each other accountable, which is awesome.
I'd say one of the things that's different for me, the veteranness of the team has stood. I guess I didn't really think of it because I know they brought in vets, but I didn't think of this as like a veteran team. I think it's a very veteran team.
Well, it's part of it, and Adelman's talked about this. Part of it is that it's the playing core are the vets. So literally the big three, if you will, have become the vets of this team. But also
CB's an old soul for a fourth-year player.
And also, like, I appreciated what DeAndre Jordan brought to the organization. If you could get veteran leadership from a guy that is also giving you minutes, right? And I think that's what they're hoping for in Tim Hardaway and Big Val, like a little bit of leadership, guys who've been around, but also in the rotation. So I think there's something about, like, the average age of this team hasn't changed much, but I think there's like a stronger nuclear kind of vet core.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's nuclear.
What did I say?
Just kidding.
What did I say?
I said the wrong one. You said the right one.
Okay. Another thing I would say that I think, I can't say for certain I think this, but I think this year is going to be more different than it was last year strategically. I think their defense is going to be meaningfully different. I think guys like Peyton may be taking on completely different roles, and so that'll feel not just like new guys are here, but some of the guys that were here are now doing different things. Man. So I think this year, and then even offensively, we kind of like, they already have a system, they're just going to run it back. Maybe the details are different. I just think this year might actually look and feel more different from previous years in a way that's fun and exciting. Not, whatever. I just think they're going to run different stuff on both ends of the floor.
I can't. I feel like we're just watching a trailer for a movie that I cannot goddamn wait.
I know, it's so true.
And then it's just like little bits. You're like, what? That guy's involved? He's back? Oh, my God.
Trailer 2 is like 90% the same clips as trailer 1, but just a different order. And you're like, okay.
Wait, who's that in the shadow? Is that Tamar Bates?
There's an Easter egg put in it.
They got Daniel Day-Lewis out of retirement?
It's crazy, though. To be a fan at this stage, you really are – you're looking yourself like, all right, can I do this again? Can I like really devote my life to this team for this amount of time? And just everything you're hearing, you're like, oh my God, I cannot believe how in I am already. This is disgusting. I'm completely back in. It's bad.
You just have a way of making a sentence gross. You
Yeah,
know?
no, I know. Well, most of it is that it comes out of my mouth. You know what I mean? It's like the source.
Anything else we're kind of feeling updated perspective on?
Dude, San Diego's
I think
sick.
the young guys. I'm like excited about. I needed to hear about Peyton, and we got a lot of Peyton love today because I think Julian, Peyton, Pickett. I'm like, all right. I'm glad those guys all feel like they got better.
I agree. Also, just one more note on the scrimmage, the coaching staff, it was Adelman and Dudley together, and then kind of Berea on the other side.
Adelman, was he on? I saw Adelman. I thought he was walking around.
Oh, was he doing it? Was he doing it all?
Yeah,
Okay,
it was like Berea
Okay,
versus Dudley.
Yeah,
You're right,
Berea
Berea
versus
so and
Dudley.
he was in both. Okay, I got you.
And they were really getting their guys after. Really, it was pretty cool to see how people were responding, and also the bench, who in that portion we did not see play. They were really going to war for their side. They're like trying to call out Yoke for flopping on one side. The other side is like, it's a foul. You know, like that was fun. But it really was great to see how competitive they got. And I mean, now that you mention it, I think it was for Dudley and Berea too. They're like really hands-on with the team where they feel loose. They feel like they're having fun, but it's also like, no, we're going to go after it too.
Dudley got a couple shout-outs today, I think, or at least one from Aaron Gordon. And to the point Dev was just making, you know, he's a defensive coordinator, right? Or so to speak, let's say, right? He's going to have to get on guys, right? That's part of the job. And that can be a bit grating. But Dudley brings this locker room kind of joviality. Like, I've been there. Like, he knows how to joke with the guys when it's time to laugh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He has a player energy to him still that hopefully is beneficial just in terms of being more receptive to the messenger.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I love it, man. And we are 2 days away from seeing our beloved Nuggets play.
Well, kind of. This is what we do. This is what I do every
No.
year.
I determined this. The excitement begins at Media Day, and it ends at the at halftime of the first preseason game.
Halftime of the first quarter.
No, it depends if they're winning or not. If they're winning and they look good, we're gonna ride that high. I'm pretty sure.
It's the second half when they roll out there, and there's still two. It's like Christian is out there still, and Jamal, but then it's Spencer Jones is starting. You're like, wait, what? Hold on.
And you're like, I am excited about Spencer Jones, just to be clear, but God damn it.
Yeah, Yoke's not out there, so now you're like, does this even mean anything? I don't know.
I know. It's every year.
I can't wait for it, though. Guys, we are on Saturday before the game. If you're down here in San Diego, be a homie. We are going to the Buffalo Wild Wings at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock.
Also, if you're in San Diego and you're looking for a roommate, just hit me up. I can live here.
Eric doesn't want to leave.
I don't want to leave, man. I got a lot of
I
problems
thought you were
back home.
talking about how we're one bed shy tonight.
Oh, well, Dev and I, if there's one bed.
Wait. Did not sign up for this. What are we talking about here?
You said there were extra rooms, you guys. Extra rooms.
I lived in. I didn't even get halfway through my joke. Dev knew exactly what was going on.
Like,
wait a second.
Just shut it down.
Do we have any super chats today, Kil? Not a single
Dude,
one.
we need to call out, though. We got to call out Drunk Philosophy.
Drunk Philosophy, our homie, man.
Member of the Supporters Club.
The Supporters Club, man. It's absolutely fantastic.
Support the club.
Maybe we'll get a new emoji for the game on Saturday. Who knows?
I don't know. There's a lot of
Only
nap
one
time between now and then.
I'm not asking. I'm just saying maybe we would.
No. I know. I'm saying.
Your little balls popping guy.
All right, let me freaking balls.
Can you do that
pop.
again?
Balls popping guy, man. He's great. Hit that outro music. Everybody, we're going to go look at the hummingbirds. We're meeting up with our homie today, man.
Dude.
We're meeting up with the homie here in just a little bit. You might see it on the vlogs. Ryan Green has been behind the scenes making vlogs and trying to make us look cool. Failing miserably, but the vlogs have been cool.
The vlogs look great.
We have not been cool, but the vlogs have looked good.
Yeah.
So you want to check those out. We got so much content. If you missed the Cam Johnson interview, what are you doing with yourself? Go back and watch it. Oh, we got one?
Chat from Drunk Philosophy saying can't be zero, guys.
Come on,
dude.
Philosophy.
Dude, we had one super chat.
Oh, man.
Get in the goal.
Everybody hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you.
Let's go.
All city like the mayor.